VMware EXSI to Cisco ACI, we're going to talk about the tenants and application profiles. The tenant is a logical container for application policies that enables administrator to exercise domain-based access control. A tenant represents a unit of isolation from a configuration perspective. It contains network constructs. It has VRF, subnets, and so on, which may or may not be reachable from other tenants or from outside the ACI fabric. Tenants can represent the customer in service provider setting, an organization or domain in an enterprise setting, or just a convenient group of policies. You can think an application profile here as a folder which contains several different constructs for ease of management and visibility. For example, I could name an application network segments, and within the network segments folder, I find the EPGs that profile the connectivity for different network segments. Alternatively, application profile could represent an application such as a shopping app. Within the shopping app folder, I can find the EPGs or ESGs, which provide network connectivity and security rules for shopping app. The web tier, app tier, and DB tier, and so forth. Another example could be configuring an application profile represents the EXSI infrastructure. Within EXSI infrastructure, I find the EPGs, ESGs, which provide network connectivity and security rules for EXSI infrastructure, host management, vMotion, IP, storage, and so forth. An application profile aggregates the network health of EPGs or ESGs, allowing network administrator to understand the health of their network segments, their shopping app or EXSI infrastructure. I will create a simple network topology consists of the tenant, the clouds, VRF1, and 3 bridge domains, each providing default gateways for single subnet. Is a network-based design. 3 bridge domains. 3 endpoint groups, the EPGs within each bridge domains. Each map 1-to-1 to the bridge domain. Mapped to a DV switch, creating 3 port groups for our virtual machines. So that will be our port group. Right here. They have represented the port groups in each EPGs. Single endpoint security group or security zone, allowing traffic from 3 network segments to communicate freely. So is endpoint security group allowing all these EPGs to communicate freely. The key difference between EPGs and ESG is that the EPG binds to a single bridge domain with security that's tailored to the EPG. Conversely, an EPG is a security boundary and applies to course VRF. Go back to Epic. Let's create our tenant. We're going to add a tenant. I can also create a VIF at the time I create a tenant, but for the section, I will be using drag and drop options. After that, let's create a bridge domain. A bridge domain is a unique layer 2 forwarding domain that contains one or more subnets or gateways. For traditional network people, the easy way to think about it is the VLAN 20 or interface VLAN 20. To link each bridge domain to a context VIF, here I create 3 bridge domains which we name the in alignment with the subnet addresses which they contain. So a bridge domain can contain multiple subnets. They are simple IP secondary addresses. Aligning the bridge domain name with the subnet ID makes them simple to understand. The next we're creating is the application profiles. I will create a new application profile called network segments, and I'll create the new EPGs that aligned with the bridge domains created earlier and post them into the vCenter. Then I'll create the endpoint security group ESG to enable traffic to pass freely between the EPGs. So here ago, we are going to create EPGs, 3 EPGs, and I'm allowing the ESG to allow the free communication between the EPGs. And I will bind each EPG to the bridge domain. multiple VLAN IDs that are being assigned to which are allowed from the VLAN pool that is used by the VM integration. Multiple VLANs enable micro-segmentation to be performed within the EPGs. Take a look. Let's select the service network. Go to VMs. Here we're seeing all the VLANs. Drag the VM Financial App 1 to the EPG dcrowd network segments 192.168.20.0 underscore 22. And we'll drag the flash web 1 and the sales web 1 to the EPG dcrowd network segments 192.168.21.0. Then we'll drag the VM finance DB and sales DB to the 22.0. We're forgetting the sales app 1. We're gonna also make it to the 20.0. Now take a look at each VMs in the EPGs. We have 20.0 containing app 1, 21.0 containing web 1, 22.0 EPG has DB1. So the VMs can now communicate with other VMs on the same EPG or port group, but not with the VMs on the other EPGs. Now let's enable communication between VMs on different EPGs using Endpoint Secure Groups ESG. Let's create EPG matched ESG, and ESG is associated with VRF, and EPG selectors define which endpoints within VRF belong to ESG. We'll configure selectors under each ESG with various matching criteria to classify endpoints to the ESG. Unlike EPGs, which we use VLANs to classify endpoints, ESGs can classify endpoints using much more flexible criteria. Here you go, we have TAC selector that matches the endpoints using the policy tags that are assigned to various attributes such as MAC and IP addresses, virtual machines VM tags, virtual machine names, subnet tags, and static group tags. EPG selector match all endpoints in a specific EPG, and ESG inherits all contracts that are configured under EPG. And we have the IP subnet selector, a match endpoint using the host IP address or subnet IP subnets. So in the APEC, we'll right-click the application profile, and we're gonna select Create Application Profile. Here we're gonna enter a name, okay, EPG matched security group, and submit. Let's expand new application profile and right-click Endpoint Security Group, and we're going to select the create endpoint security group. We're going to take name network segment, and we're going to select the same VF and click the next. In the EPG selectors, so let's click the plus sign and to add all EPGs. And we're going to click OK. Click next. Finish. Let's expand our original application profile. Go to network segments and application EPGs. Policies, general. What is notice the EPG name are penned with the ESG matched. So there is a single security zone called EPG matched security group containing all EPGs. All connected VMs can now communicate freely between EPGs. Notice we have complete this step. As for now, we created the tenants and application profile, created EPGs, assigned port groups to VMs, and created ESGs that allows communication between all endpoints freely. So next, we'll be creating the secure finance application. So everyone, I will see you in the next video.
Hey everyone, NetMaven here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to dive into the world of amazing network technologies with me, and please feel free to leave your comments below. Hey everyone, NetMaven here. Don't forget